Spiderman is back.
Oh, okay, boys. Oh my gosh, the ring got messed up.
This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have delivered.
This is your boy.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Inferno. And I'm back with another Spider-Man gameplay. So, with 2018 fully in the books, we can now look forward towards 2019. So, seeing how this is a video game channel, amongst other things, I will start this off by giving you the 10 most, or my 10 most anticipated video games of 2019. Now, even though some of these games are in this list, I will not be purchasing or getting or playing most of these games. Some of these games are real, others more likely for the most part no, but I know how big time these games are and how anticipated these games are. So let's get things going with number 10, NBA 2K20. So every year NBA 2K comes out, you know, we know the drill at this point. So NBA 2K20 will come out either in October or November, although it have not been officially announced yet because they still in, you know, 2K19 mode or whatever, but that would more likely change in what, March? So I mean, that's how 2K is. So why is this game on this list? Because 2K has been going in a downward spiral here. So 2K18 was, it is hard to explain 2K18 because like the gameplay, it was amongst the best 2K games within what, recent memory, not of all time, not close, but in recent memory, like from 2K maybe what, 15 on down, 2K18 had, you know, was arguably the best 2K game in terms of gameplay from 2K15 on down. But in terms of like the features and the mechanics and everything else, and especially the VC scenario, 2K18 was the worst, like the worst game, not just in memory, but of all time when it comes to outside the gameplay rather. 2K19, it was an improvement in terms of the VC scenario and other things, but it still was not a good game. You know, people played it, you know, based on what I heard and seen and personally experienced. People played NBA 2K19 for like what, like a month and a half, and then they just forgot about it. They just dropped it. So it's not looking good for 2K, although I still say a lot of people still got it and they still play it. But, you know, comparing it to how it was when it first came out, 2K19, those numbers have dipped without question. So now we are getting to NBA 2K20, and they must do a lot of things differently in order to keep their franchise, to keep this series going. I'm not saying if this game sucks that the NBA 2K franchise will die immediately and things of that nature, but it will like start a well-known downward spiral in regards to the 2K franchise if 2K20 is not a good game and is not recognized as a good game all around, to the point where as soon as you get a day one, you're going to constantly play it throughout the year, you know, things of that nature. So they got to do better with 2K20. They got to do better, you know. Obviously, like I said, they improved the VC situation to 2K19, but it still could be better in my opinion. But yeah, that's 2K20. That's why it's anticipated, because I want to see whether they would go up or they would go down with this franchise. Let's move on to number 9, Pokemon. All right, so we know that there's a new Pokemon RPG game coming for the Nintendo Switch at some point in time this year. It is projected to come out in the 3rd or 4th quarter this year. So what I mean by 3rd quarter, we talking what, like August, September, October? No, July, August, September, and then the 4th quarter is October, November. I forgot how these quarters are broken down, like 3 months basically. So the 4th quarter would be like October, November, December, and then the 3rd quarter would be July, August, September. Yeah, that's how it goes. So that's when this Pokemon game supposed to drop. We don't know much about it. Obviously, they're going to feature Gen 8 Pokemon, and we know Melmetal is Gen 8 since it's in Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go. But we don't know much about this game. All we know is that there's a new RPG Pokemon game coming to the Nintendo Switch, and it's supposed to drop this year, and it's obviously anticipated because this is a brand new RPG for the Pokemon franchise. So kind of have to wait to see what will happen, what type of new Pokemon, brand new Pokemon they're going to create, and how the story will be. So yeah, let's move on. Number 8, Days Gone. So amongst the games on this list, this is the first game that actually have a release date, and this joint will drop April 26th of this year. And this game was talked about a lot, you know, at the likes of E3 and other conventions, video game conventions and things of that nature, all throughout 2018. So obviously it's a action adventure slash survival horror game, and it's kind of like The Walking Dead, where you got to deal with zombies, but then there's people who are taking advantage of the zombie apocalypse crisis and trying to make their situation better by killing other people, things of that nature. So it's like, it seemed like within the more recent trailer, they pushing that aspect more than the whole zombie apocalypse fiasco. And it's only for the PS4, you know, so obviously there's some anticipation for this game, not much. And lately, some people think that this game won't be as good. I won't go that route. I won't be getting it, that's for sure. Cause I don't really do zombie games, but I know that there's some anticipation for this game. So we'll wait and see what happens in April. Now let's move on to number 7, The Division 2. Now this joint drops March the 15th of this year, and this is going to be interesting because I got the first Division game, and then I played it for a good minute, and then it died down a bit because, you know, there were some issues, not in terms of like bugs and things of that nature, but in terms of like the game and how it works and things of that nature. People got bored of it, but then later on they changed some things to the game, and the game was apparently popping. I didn't get back into it, but I heard that the Division was popping. So it's going to be interesting to see how they will approach the Division 2. Like, they got to, wherever they did near the end of the Division cycle, they got to do in the Division 2 and improve upon it to keep people playing the game for months in and for years to come and things of that nature. Otherwise, they should stop making Division games. You know, they need to stop. They probably should stop if this game flops, without question. That's why it is really anticipated, because of how the crazy roller coaster provided the first Division game went. Like, it started off good, but then it got boring, and then they changed some things to make it good. I don't know how it is now, but it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, how they approach the Division 2, what they do with the Division 2 rather, to keep people interested from day one on. So that's why it's anticipated, in my opinion. Now let's move on to number 6, Jump Force. Now this, like, if you're in the anime world, then this is a game a lot of people has been waiting for ever since it was announced at E3. I believe it was announced at E3. So Jump Force, we talking about a crossover game featuring Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. I'm trying to think of that, Death Note, and others anime franchises. So I don't know much about the story, and apparently you can create your own character on there, so that's pretty cool. This game dropped February the 15th. Actually, a lot of games dropped February the 15th, which is pretty interesting. Another game on my list dropped February 15th. Another game that made honorable mention drops February 15th as well. So very interesting. Now I will be getting this game, Jump Force. I will be getting this game without question. So I can't wait to see, you know, it's a fighting game, obviously, but I can't wait to see how this would go in terms of the story and the game mechanics and everything you can do in this game, and especially the whole creative characters scenario. Can't wait for that. Now let's move on to number 5, Anthem. Now Anthem dropped 7 days after Jump Force, and that's February 22nd, obviously. Now this joint is from EA. Now here's the deal with Anthem. Anthem looks like a Destiny knockoff, which was created by Blizzard. If memory serves me correctly. I could be wrong on that. So if I'm wrong on that, please correct me in the comment section below. But Anthem looks good, but the problem is this is EA we're talking about here. So EA, the same company that was going all crazy with the microtransactions with the whole Star Wars Battlefront 2 scenario, and at this point in time, EA got a bad rep. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Anthem. Like, if they make Anthem microtransaction crazy, Anthem will flop big time. Like, Anthem will flop big time, because Battlefield 2 flopped big time at the start, and then they changed their rates a little bit, you know, sometime later. But if they do that microtransaction crap with Anthem, this game will flop, and I don't think people will give it a shot. That's why it's somewhat anticipated. I want to see, not necessarily the gameplay. I think the gameplay will be good. The story is up in the air, but in terms of like the microtransactions, because you know they're going to be microtransactions in the game, but the question is, how crazy where EA go with the microtransactions in this game. They go really crazy with it. This game will flop. I'm letting you know right now. I don't care what change they make. This game will flop. So there you go with that. Let's move on to number 4. Crackdown 3. This game been promised, then canceled, then promised, then pushed back, and all that stuff. And it got a release date. And this is one of those games that are coming out February 15th. Yes, so Crackdown 3 coming out for the Xbox One and for Windows February 15th. And it's really anticipated because people want to see if this game will really be released. Because this game has been teased and been talked about for a few years at EA and in other video game conventions, things of that nature. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Crackdown 3 will come out and how good it is. Because let's face it, when it comes to first party games, Xbox One is not the place. Like, it is not the place. You better all go into the Nintendo Switch or the PlayStation 4 for first party games. But Xbox One is not the place for first party games. So they need Crackdown 3 to be good in order to get people to really want to buy an Xbox One or Xbox One X or S or whichever one. But it has to come out. So will it come out a month from now? We have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Now let's move on to number 3. Devil May Cry 5. Now this joint, a lot of people has been waiting for Devil May Cry 5 for the longest. I'm not really into the Devil May Cry series. I'm not saying it sucks or anything like that, but I never played it. It's not my cup of tea. But I know how big this franchise is. So this joint drops March the 8th of this year, obviously, for the Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. And it's going to be very interesting because it looks dope. The main character, he's apparently changed from what he used to be. So I don't know how that would play out. I don't know how people would feel about the main character. Then this ain't a different main character like it was in what Devil May Cry, I think 4, where they went with a completely different main character from the normal guy. I forgot his name, but I think this is the same guy. He just cut his hair and his personality changed. So I don't know how people will feel about that, but aside from that, the game looked good. So can't wait for it to drop, see how it do, see the reviews and the response and the reactions to this game. All right, let's keep it moving. Now this is gonna be funny right here. Number 2, Resident Evil 2. So this joint drops this month, actually, the 25th. So like what, 3 weeks from now, actually. So this dropped 3 weeks from now, and it's going to be interesting because now this game looked dope as heck. I really admit. But again, I said this before, I'm not really into the zombie games, so I never really played the Resident Evil games, nor have I been into the Resident Evil games like that. But again, at the same time, I am not naive. I know how big of a franchise this is. So this is going to be very interesting. And based on what I've seen, this joint look dope as heck. Like, it really do looks dope as heck. It is a remake, not a reboot or a port. It is a remake. And this joint looks dope as heck. So that's why I was really anticipating, my opinion, because of how it looks. Now, whether the story will change or make some tweaks to the story, things of that nature, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they should. But it would not surprise me if they do. But yeah, this joint look dope as heck, man. So can't wait to see how it do in terms of response and reactions and reviews and things of that nature. Now, before I reveal my number 1, which should be obvious, but let me give you my 2 honorable mentions. Dead or Alive 6. Dead or Alive 6 drops February the 15th. So there you go with that. And the deal with this one is this. Like, Dead or Alive has been getting a lot of flack about, because of the fact that they try to secretly, promote sex appeal. So with the females on there, they give them big boobs and make them bounce like crazy, things of that nature. And people was like, yeah, no. Now, apparently, they are definitely moving away from that and just focusing on the fighting aspect of the game. And the fighting aspect of the game looked dope. Now, I have gotten, the past few Dead or Alive games. I think I'm going to get this one. I don't know. And this joint come out for the Windows, PS4, and Xbox One systems. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I probably will get it at some point. I don't know. I don't have it reserved yet, but I don't know. It's up in the air for me in terms of whether or not I would get this or not. Now, let's move on to my other honorable mention game, sticking with fighting games, and that's Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11 will drop for the Windows, PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch, which is dope as heck. And we only saw like a trailer, not actual gameplay of this game, so it's gonna be interesting to see what the gameplay looks like This joint, I didn't even mention this. This joint drops April the 23rd too, so that's pretty interesting. So, and I don't know what the story gonna be like, because with Mortal Kombat, with their story, they going all over the place here. That, like, they went back in time and redid the story, whatever, things of that nature. I don't know where they at in the story now. So the story is like an issue with the Mortal Kombat franchises as of late. But in terms of gameplay, oh, this game, you know this game gonna be graphic as heck, because the last one was extremely graphic as heck. So there you go with that. More likely I won't be getting this one, because I haven't really been into Mortal Kombat as of late. But again, you know, I used to play Mortal Kombat going up to, what is it, Armageddon. That was the last one that I played, I think. But yeah, Mortal Kombat, gonna be interesting to see how this looks in the storyline and things of that nature. Now let's move on to number 1, Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, come on, if you know me, you know how I feel about Kingdom Hearts. So for Kingdom Hearts 3 to not only come out this year, but this month and in 20 days from now, boy, I can't wait, man. So there's been a lot of talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, if it was being worked on and if it was coming out. And then they released the trailer that they were working on it. So now the question is, okay, when will they be done working on it? And we finally got the time. The time is almost here. And I cannot wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 to drop. And based on some of the things I have seen, this story is about to be crazy. It's been all over the place leading up to 3, but it's about to be really crazy. And unfortunately, the game, some people got early copies of the game already and are leaking stuff. I haven't seen any of it. I've seen the opening credits, but that's pretty much it. I haven't seen any gameplay and things of that nature, as more news are coming out about this game. And again, we're 20 days away before the game dropped. This game dropped January, excuse me, the 29th. And I obviously got this game on reserve. I'm obviously going to get this game as soon as it released. Can't wait to get this joint, the Kingdom Hearts 3. And I'll go as far to say this too. I know the likes of Resident Evil 2 coming out, Devil May Cry 5 coming out, and goodness knows wherever else is coming out, because the majority of these games that I mentioned, with the exception of the Pokemon game and NBA 2K20, all these games are like the first half of the year. Like nothing is past July. Again, with the exception of the Pokemon game and NBA 2K20. None of these games, not July, none of these games that I mentioned coming out past April, actually. So I don't know what awaits us later on in the year, but I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that Kingdom Hearts 3 will be the best game of the year. I am going that far. Yes, you heard me right. I am going that far. Kingdom Hearts 3 will be the best game of 2019. Yes, I am making that claim right now. You could say I'm being biased, but I don't care. I'm going that far. Let me say it one more time. Kingdom Hearts 3 will be the best video game of 2019. All right, so with that said, that's my list of anticipated video games for the year. And with that said, y'all know who this is. This is your boy, the new Jay Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Oh!